I jumped away from that Demi comment quickly, after she had attacked on the front. I'm jumping back really quick. Well, mainly because I feel like, it's just an example of how she kind of wastes energy a lot of times. And like that was a completely unnecessary thing to go and do. And I don't understand her tactics sometimes, especially in this race where the big climbing comes towards the end and you're the favorite. I mean, it's staying safe and everything, but and maybe if there's an opportunity getting into a break or not a break, but in a crosswind being at the front. But the thing is that to waste all these little attacks is kind of, it all adds up. And I mean, it's the same thing as being in the back at a race too, where you're having to work 10 times harder than the people at the front. Like why do these little jumps that are going to take away your energy?
Welcome back to The Move. Joined by Mari Holden, legend, Olympic medalist. Alison Tetrick down there.
Hello.
How are you? Good morning. Talking about stage 3 of the Tour de France Femmes Avec Zwift. Mel Hincapie, talk to us. Where'd we go?
Stage 3. La Gacilly to Angers.
This is so
La
good.
Gacilly to Angers.
I love it. I love every part of that.
And we love Mel.
And we love Mel. Big paella night for the team. End of the men's tour, kind of sort of the kickoff of the Tour de France Femmes Avec Zwift.
Always a good start.
By the way, where were you? I
was there. You guys came in too late.
I got reports that you were there.
Yes.
I was, of course, on the golf course, and you were gone.
Yeah, I was only there for a little over an hour. I had a little jet lag.
Your jet lag. Anna did say, she was like, said you were, and I was like, what? And I was like, oh yeah, she just came from France. But all right, you're excused. Anyways, Lorena Wiebes, not a surprise, right? Cranking out.
I think the bets were pretty high on her for winning.
They said something interesting in the coverage too, that I guess she didn't win a stage last year. There had been 2 years, and you see a sprinter like that that's so dominant and so powerful, you think, well, but they must win one every year at least. Didn't win last year.
But she handedly won today, and she's got another great shot tomorrow.
It was huge for SD Works. They really needed that. Yeah.
And they were alluding to that also in the coverage, that just that the team has been misfiring. Obviously, the departure of Demi Vollering, it didn't seem like it. I mean,
no, I mean, and by looking at Kopecky the other day, everything started to kind of, call into question what was going to happen in this race. So it was great to see her riding a little better today, and then Wiebes pulling it off. Yep,
they took control and they delivered. But before we jump into it, how do we talk about the Tour de France Femmes Avec Zwift without talking about Zwift?
I know.
They support our show and, of course, are the title sponsor. So I love Zwift. I ride it all the time. Turns out I do have the highest Zwift fitness score over George and you, Lance, because you can use your outdoor rides to count towards your Zwift fitness score as well. And Colt and I are going to set up my bike here on the Zwift after the show. Snowmass is real high and there's a lot of hills, so I might need to just spin my legs out. But Zwift recently rolled out their cog and click setup sitting right here. You don't need to change your cassette. No bike drama. There's plenty of drama here in the Tour de France Femmes Avec Zwift. And you can literally use it on any bike you have. So a bike collecting dust in the garage, I have maybe a few of those.
There.
And there you go. You got a top shelf smart trainer at your fingertips. Just plug in, clip and go. Works with all the big names trainers like Wahoo, my personal favorite, Garmin, Jet Black, Elite, Decathlon. $299, which means more people on bikes and in the game. And I like winning.
Sync up your app so you get credit.
Yeah. It's great
to do that.
Here it is right here. I'm careful of not picking up because I think I might drop it.
Yeah.
I make a lot of noises.
Days like this, there's you don't expect a whole lot of drama. I mean, you sort of expect a sprint stage like that. Lorena Wiebes, obviously, big favorite, comes through. Breakaway early on that got minutes. This is all really traditional in cycling. I guess the most interesting thing happened. 4K to go. Huge crash. Oh. Demi Vollering involved in that crash, and as she sometimes does, just slow to get up. I think we were all like, "Is she okay?" He appeared to be okay at the finish line.
Well, it was kind of interesting watching it kind of all unfold. You know, they were on all those super small little roads, super technical, and then they came into the wider road, and everyone was kind of spread out across the road, and then they were coming in. It wasn't long on that road before they took that tight turn into the finish, and you could just see that they were all gonna like have some issues coming into that.
It looked bad. We don't know any of the injury updates, of course, yet. The stage is finished, but there were definitely bodies everywhere. So it was a pretty gnarly crash. Yeah. Not the first one of that stage either.
Well, and they got lucky with the 5K rule. Yep. You know, I mean, it was they definitely put it at the right time there.
Yeah, and that's been a development. It's actually been a progression over the years in cycling. You know, when we raced, it was 1K, right? Yeah. So you had all of the GC people just getting in the way and trying to stay there with 1K to go. And as soon as they got to 1K, they could relax. But and then it got moved back to 3K and now back to 5K. That's probably the most I think that they can move that out. I think that's a healthy rule to have. We started debating though, then what happens if then within that 5K there was another selection? Who knows, right? Still debatable. But nonetheless, she got up, did not appear to be pedaling very efficiently after that.
No. Teammates were pushing her up through the finishing chute. It looked like she finally was
I feel like she got it going a little bit, which is what you do, right? I mean, once the legs get moving, then I personally think it's better to get up as soon as you can and not let whether it's a contusion or anything, or a blow. Because you crash, you can hit anything, right? You can hit a handle, but somebody else's handlebar, a pedal.
Yeah, but at the same time, with a 5K rule, and you have as much time, it's like a neutral. You don't even have to worry about it.
Get moving, get it.
Yeah, you want to get moving. I mean, to me, when she stood up, it didn't look like there was anything really wrong with her. Mm-hmm. It was, there was no road rash. There was maybe she hit hard, but it was similar to her crash last year where, she took forever to get going and there was no neutral in that, obviously. But
cost her the tour.
It cost her the tour. Yep. I think at this point you'd be getting up a little faster, but she did have time to take her time, and some people like to relax a little more.
Lance doesn't like it. No. He wants you to bounce up.
No, look, we all get up from crashes differently. Yeah, I mean, you just assume that. I mean, we don't know. We didn't get a lot of coverage of the crash. We saw a lot of highlight reels or replays of the sprint finish, but we didn't. A lot of times, they'll go back and just sort of diagnose the crash, who caused the crash, who went down GC wise that would affect the impact of the race, or the outcome of the race.
But GC, new yellow jersey, back on Voss's shoulders.
Yeah, a game of numbers, right? So on same time.
But then she got a time bonus, getting second place on the stage. So now Kim LaCourte is second in GC, 6 seconds back going into tomorrow.
Which is, kind of interesting. Like, had it been a normal sprint, she probably wouldn't have necessarily gotten the same points if you had like Balsamo and those ones up there too. Maybe
she wouldn't have got second, you're saying?
Yeah, like maybe that would, it's more power to her that she did get second, but I mean, when the group is like 20 people or 15 or whatever the size was coming in versus having the other sprinters there with her to contest the sprint, it definitely changed the outcome, I think.
And she was alone quite a bit as well in that sprint. If you watch the overhead shot on the outside, out into the wind, I mean, she did that sprint on her own and still got second. Of course, like you said, Allie gave her the 6 second time bonus, 10.64 at the finish. Mm-hmm. Obviously, Lorena Wiebes is not really concerned or doesn't care about 10-second bonuses, but certainly helped Marianne Vos. Mm-hmm. I had a fun time because we were talking about Kim LaCourte yesterday, who took the yellow jersey based on average finish placings. And by the way, she barely had it. She had it by half a place.
Oh, gosh.
If you average those two stages out, she was half a place ahead of Marianne Vos. And we've talked about her, and she wears this jersey because she's the national champion of Mauritius. It looks very similar to the rainbow jersey, which, of course, a lot of Kopecki's wearing. So if you saw them from a helicopter shot, why are they both world champions? Slightly different. We're sort of kicking around like, where's Mauritius? And so I roughly knew where it was, but I didn't know what it looked like.
Now we know.
Wow.
All right, so let me just start your day, folks. Kim LaCourte gets to wear the yellow jersey in the Tour de France Femmes Avec Zwift. And this is where she's from.
I want to know how you even start bike racing if you live there.
I don't either. I don't either. Hashtag winning.
Hashtag winning.
This is what Mauritius looks like. Now, I don't know if you can ride bikes up there, or mountain bikes or whatever. There's some other mountains if you look off to the left. Wow.
I know. Now I have Mari on Find My Friends, tomorrow she's not on the show. We know where Mari is.
No, exactly. Mari she immediately pulled out whatever it is, Expedia or one of these ninja travel sites you go to. I mean, that's pretty sick. Out, That's winning.
That's winning.
I actually also found out Kim, she speaks fluent French. She spends her time between Cape Town in South Africa and Girona. Her father's French, her mom's Scottish. And the native language of Mauritius, which he understands, is Creole.
Yeah, I believe that. Yeah. Anyhow, it's out. It's 2,000 miles out into the Indian Ocean. We are a long ways from home.
She doesn't get to visit home very often.
No. But we might be visiting her home
tomorrow.
Now, settle down, folks in Mauritius. I know they've got the Eritrea thing going last year.
What does George have? Those jizzies? Can you get one for us?
And a yizzy. That looks like it'll handle a yizzy quite well as well. The other thing we pulled up a picture of, this is big with Allie.
Oh.
Oh,
I know.
It's always, you look at the results, check for the crashes, look at the GC, blah, blah, blah. The tracker for Lorena Wiebes' nails.
Boom.
Is a big deal. And I guess she switches. I don't know how nails work.
You can redo them during
Anyhow, this is before the stage. She posted this on her Instagram. So this is quite artsy. This is what she's thinking. I'm going to rock these nails and then rock these women in the final sprint.
They're like moody.
That's super. That's like an album cover.
She's going to throw down with those nails. She's thinking about tomorrow. I wonder if they'll change for tomorrow. I'll let you know.
Gotta love the aura ring there too. I wonder what
I got my aura ring on.
Her sleep score was.
It's going to be great tonight.
The other interesting thing that I don't know if this has been confirmed, but as is the case in cycling, there's kind of the buzz and things that just start to be talked about. Apparently, there's a bit of a stomach bug rolling around the Peloton.
I know.
Lamborghini, however we say it.
Well, we started. Marlon had stomach issues on
day one, right away. So before the race started.
And our Elisa Longo Lamborghini DNS today. Yeah, stomach issue.
Doesn't that happen though? Like, you're sharing hotels, restaurants, team buses. By the way, too, you're in a Peloton of 150 plus people. That's as close quarters as close quarters get. People are sneezing, snot. It's easy. I don't like that, right? It happens a lot. Like, you get a stomach bug running through the Peloton, it's not isolated.
No, I noticed something, and I was going to point it out to you, Mari. And when we were watching, Kopecky was being super domestique because 10 bottles down her back, and she goes up to the front, and Sakini was leading, and she hands her a bottle. Wasn't what she wanted a different bottle. So she takes it back, and Kopecky takes it out of her mouth and gives it to another teammate. And I remember that's like, I used to try to carry a bottle in my mouth, and my director was like, absolutely not.
No sharing germs.
But I was watching her take it out of Sakini's mouth, then put it in her mouth and give it to another of her riders. Right. And she was just running out of hands,
This is to my point. This is how it happens. There's little things like that in the heat of it, you just... Yeah.
Well, you don't really have many.
I think I'll go without a bottle. I'm good.
I always hated that though. I'd carry all these bottles, go up to the front. You just work so hard, and then my GC leader would be like, "Ew, I didn't want grape electrolyte. I wanted lemon lime.
I wanted it after the climb." You're like, wait a second.
And I'm like, screw you.
AKA carry it over the climb.
Carry it over the climb, exactly.
This one's not cold enough for that.
By the way, Allie, I'm just getting, and he wasn't kidding. My good friend Dakota Meyer, who is he's an American hero, and a lunatic, right? Saved about, I think it's 16 fellow Americans in Iraq. Was awarded the Congressional Medal of Honor. It's one of the very few Americans to ever be awarded the Congressional Medal alive. Right? Most of the time, these are after somebody's done something heroic and passed. But Dakota loved my hat yesterday. And at first I thought, he's like, I need one of these. I'm like, come on, bro. He's like, no, I'm serious. Anyways, boom, I've got the address. And then he writes, I'll pay you.
You better give him my number.
Dakota, you are sponsored. You're going to get a Zwift hat.
Sponsored.
I will sponsor Dakota.
Yeah, Allie will sponsor you. Dude's beast.
We're all a little insane. Come
Speaking of Demi too, quite. When I was still at home watching the race. Y'all were here. They had the intermediate sprint, which Lorena Wiebes won convincingly. And then Demi, which I don't hate that move. I mean, it's a good time. It's strung out, but far from the finish, she attacks there. I was like, I don't know about that. Where are you going?
Yeah, that was a little bit strange when she did that
head scratcher.
Yeah, it was a head scratcher. But right around that time too, I think they were concerned about maybe some crosswinds coming up. It sounded like there was going to be a turn, and maybe, I mean, it didn't look like she was. It was hard to say what she was doing, but after that was when Chloe came up and started taking Katja at the front and brought back the break basically at that time.
Well, that's what you said. I mean, you said she pretty much single-handedly. I mean, it was at that point 3 minutes.
2.5 minutes, and like within a few K, Chloe just got on the front and drove it.
And it was under a minute. It was just Chloe on the front, just dialing it up. It was a little like cross tail. We did have to talk that Kristen Faulkner was DFL. Is that what you say? Yeah. Lantern Rouge yesterday. And she made the time cut by 24 seconds.
24 seconds. Which I didn't know that. I follow her on Instagram, so I saw her post. I was like, whoa. How did I miss that? Look, it happens, right? I mean, it and kind of who cares too, like in the sense that if you're not there to win or compete for the yellow jersey, just take your licks where you do, and find a stage, isolate a stage, focus on that. But I totally missed that.
Yeah, I had missed it too.
I think it was before coverage started. It was a crash and then just chasing solo for a while.
Not bad.
Well, look at you.
It was my Norda slides just banging this pole down here. I'm sorry. That's what George does the whole time.
I jumped away from that Demi comment quickly, after she had attacked on the front. I'm jumping back really quick. Well, mainly because I feel like, it's just an example of how she kind of wastes energy a lot of times. And like that was a completely unnecessary thing to go and do. And I don't understand her tactics sometimes, especially in this race where the big climbing comes towards the end and you're the favorite. I mean, it's staying safe and everything, but and maybe if there's an opportunity getting into a break or not a break, but in a crosswind being at the front. But the thing is that to waste all these little attacks is kind of, it all adds up. And I mean, it's the same thing as being in the back at a race too, where you're having to work 10 times harder than the people at the front. Like why do these little jumps that are going to take away your energy?
Yeah. I mean, I think if it's set up perfectly and the team director knows, they're all staring at Google Maps and Google Earth. They see where the those mini forests are, and they see where it opens up. They know where the wind is. They know the width of the road. Like if there's a master plan.
Well, even if it was part of a master plan, even if it was part of a master plan, like the master plan would have been to be up there and keep herself safe in the top few people. Yep. It wouldn't be to be driving the pace and being the one making the attacks. It would be to follow and stay in the front few. Yeah, and have your teammates around you. So, like making those little kind of efforts that are taking away her, her energy for later on, it just doesn't make much sense.
Yeah, net. That was not a great day.
And especially when her team is not built like SD Works, where this is, let's say, 99.99% going to come down to a sprint. Yeah. And SD Works is made for that type of riding, and they're going to take control of the race. And FDJ is made to help her in the climbs. Like the team is made for more of these all-arounders to help her on the higher mountains. So, I mean, I agree with you, Mari.
Yeah.
We'll jump right back in. We'll look at tomorrow's stage. We also got some really cool questions from the listener, the viewer, and some fun ones, which we were sort of like, I don't know if we can ask that question. Well, we're going to ask the question, so stay tuned for that. Also today brought to you by Peak RE Fountain. Fellow cycling enthusiasts, been a long time, been a long month. Fellow cycling enthusiasts, as we witness the incredible feats of endurance at the Tour de France Femmes, Avec Zwift, let's talk about what powers those athletes and what can power you. I used to think more hours in bed was the answer, but then I discovered Peak's RE Fountain Electrolyte. This has been a game changer. One sachet at night and I am relaxed. I wake up refreshed, focused, and truly calm, believe it or not. No grogginess, no brain fog. It's like a soothing reset for your nervous system while you sleep. Now, what makes it special? It's crafted with Peak's proprietary triple biomaxed magnesium, 3 incredibly bioavailable forms that calm and support your brain. Within days, I felt more balanced, clearer, and my energy felt calmer. Ready to optimize your recovery like a pro? Peak is offering up to 20% off for life. Wow. Plus free gifts for our listeners, plus a 90-day money-back guarantee. Head on over to Peak, and I'm going to spell this for you. PIQUE, peaklife.com/themove, and experience it for yourself. That's peaklife.com/themove. And if you want to remember how to spell it, just rewind the show. Let's look at tomorrow. Tomorrow is similar to today, right?
Flattest stage of the tour.
Yeah.
Little shorter, 128K.
I wonder what the winds do. Have we moved to the Massif Central here for this?
Yes, today was our last day in Bretagne.
Yes, the Massif Central just always, it can be windy, can be hot. I don't know. It's apparently been much cool. You saw the men's finish was downright cool. But the Massif Central is just this mysterious place that the pavement's slow, even though it's a flat day. Just the bikes don't roll the same. It ends up always being harder than you expected it to be. But if you look at the profile, pretty uneventful. 1 KOM sprint, no green jersey sprint. How is that?
That's weird.
Wait.
So we're misseeing that.
I think you're misseeing that. I think
there's only one category.
Gabrielle's going down to my second favorite Costa Rican now. That was a joke. That was a joke, Gabrielle. No, there is one sprint. All right, that we had the wrong with 30 miles to go.
But it's going to be a similar probably stage to today.
Yeah.
So
Lorena Wiebes
day. Yeah.
Hopefully with no crashes.
Yep. And, hopefully Balsamo, we get a good sprint tomorrow. I wanted to say today, Megan Jastrap was up there, one of our Americans.
Yeah, fourth place.
Yeah, fourth place. Yeah. Great result, young.
We were curious
American.
what the highest sprint finish is for an American.
And I don't think that an American has been on the podium at the Tour de France.
We needed to double check that, but I don't think so either.
In a stage, sorry. In a stage. Yeah. We know for sure not in the GC, but I don't think we've had in a stage.
Yeah, and Megan was doing a lead out for one of my former teammates, for Kelly, and she stayed on it, and I think she saw her opening, she moved right, and she went, and I think fourth place is awesome for her. Yeah. And she's nipping at that podium, I think. Tomorrow might be a good day.
It's always cool when they put up at the end of the coverage, they put up the stage results and the GC results and just see stars bars up there. That's what caught our attention. I was like, whoa.
Megan.
Yeah. I know. We're like, go Megan.
Yeah, baby.
Yeah. And tomorrow's finish, I think, is supposed to be a little more straightforward. It's not supposed to be as hectic. It is the identical 5K to the finish that the Tour de France did in 2020, where Caleb Ewan won. So I think it's a little more straightforward, which also can be a little more risky too when it's big roads and straightforward.
In the corner where Demi crashed today, it was kind of the first sharp-ish corner in the last 5K, but that wasn't the corner that we expected to watch out for. I mean, so who knows, right?
Yeah.
There are some corners. There's some.
I think it's supposed to be a little wider. It has hosted 4 Tour de France finishes. First one in 1955, and a fun one, 1978. Sean Kelly won there too.
Wow.
Yeah. And where we start, Stephen Roche won a TT, and Marcel Kittel won in 2016.
Where do you get all this stuff?
I miss Marcel Kittel's hair.
Is it on the website? Where do you find all Chat?
No.
Is it on ChatGPT?
Liz and I do our research at night in the bunkhouse. We go through the media kits and the documents, and you think we're just hanging out watching rom-coms? We're working.
Love Island. Do you all watch that? Do y'all watch Love Island?
No.
Let me tell you something. This is the worst show ever in the history of the world. I'm not kidding.
You just want to be on it.
No, I don't.
You want me to bring up Stars from Mars again?
I'll tell you what. If I ever did want to be on it, one of y'all can go tell my wife that I want to be on it, because I'm not telling.
That can be
it's
Allie.
awful. I'm surprised y'all don't watch. Fun questions. Some of these are just whoppers. And I don't know if maybe the commentators were talking about this, but they were talking about Shabby's position on the bike. I don't know if we were talking about shabby and that she's not too shabby. I think this was probably from the main coverage, but do bike manufacturers adjust frame geometry for female cyclists? And if not, how do teams adjust fitting bikes for female riders? That's from Lewis. That's a good question.
It depends on the bike brands whether or not they have female specific frames. I do know a lot about this though, because on the geometry side of things, I think ultimately it's touch points, because you can have shorter men with longer torsos. I mean, women tend to have longer legs, shorter torsos. They tend to be smaller frames, narrower shoulders. But ultimately, my opinion is the geometry is for those touch points, and that should be pretty not gender specific until you're thinking about saddles and
stem length, bar width. You can even adjust seat posts a little bit. There's seat posts. Reach. Yeah.
So
that usually, is the customization, right? That double triangle is pretty standard as they come off the production line.
Yeah, and you have different geometries. For our bikes, like I have a Roubaix versus a tarmac. So a more endurance bike versus a gravel bike versus a aero bike. But ultimately, I think you can fit anybody on it by adjusting stem length, saddle height, bar width, and then of course I'm huge into the saddles, are very important for women. So, but yeah.
And men.
Mm-hmm. For sure.
Men don't sit on those. You know what? All right. Well, you think it's gotten seedy now. Here, wait for this one. All right. This comes in from Ty. This is Ty.
We'll let Allie answer this one.
T-Y. All right. I don't even know if it's a question. Don't you think it's funny that the stage winners in the Tour de France Femmes Avec Zwift get a stuffed beaver as a prize? Now, Ty, you're a sick individual, and we love you. I didn't know that, but...
I didn't know that either. I mean, I haven't seen...
The Tour de France has the little lion. I don't know if the little lion has a name, but when you win a stage at the Tour de France Femmes Avec Zwift, insert Zwift, they have a mascot. His name is Scotty the Squirrel. So it is a squirrel,
not a beaver. It's a squirrel, not a beaver.
And when you're on Zwift in the digital world there, you can see Scotty living around virtually. So it's Scotty.
Right, but so it's not a beaver.
It's not a beaver. Okay, it's a squirrel.
All right, Ty.
Well, there's a good answer for that, because
this guy Ty is a sicko. All right.
He's going to fit right in. He's going to fit right in.
I have a feeling he knew it was a squirrel, but he kind of squinted and said, it could be a beaver. So I'm going to ask this question.
And he wanted to test you on this.
And he was like, I'm definitely getting my question on the show. This is another great question from Nico. How do the watts per kilogram for top women's riders compare to the top men's riders? As we looked at this question earlier, we thought, well, let's have some fun with it too and talk about Lorena Wiebes in max sprint power. So if you think, I'll let y'all answer, but break it up into sort of GC riders, watts per kilo, and then let's talk about, and we think we have a pretty accurate number on what Lorena Wiebes was doing, for example, in today's sprint. How do those compare?
Well, I think on Wiebes, I know, I actually answered you, Lance, and then I looked it up and I was within 20 watts.
Okay.
So she's going to sprint around 1,250 watts, but she can peak up to 1,400 watts.
Which is incredible.
Yeah.
That's insane.
Yeah.
Folks, if you have a power meter, just go on out in the neighborhood. I'd recommend you get a little warmed up. Go sprint around for a little while and let me know your watts. Max watts.
I'm a big rider. I could do 1,100, but I would have to come at from like far, and that's when I knew I was race fit. But I'm not light. So
how much does Lorena weigh? Do you think?
I did look that up, but give me a second. You can talk about watts per kilo and climbers
for the climbers, GC wise.
I'm not sure what the watt. I mean, what is your guess on it?
I don't.
I tried to reach out to get what they were.
Actually, we could get an answer on this from Spencer. I mean, it's all based on, you could just have to, maybe we can even find out their weight, the weight of the bike, and just look at the times. But that is a good question from Nico. On that, we can, and of course we got to wait till we get to the mountains.
Yeah.
So calculating Wiebes' weight versus her power when she's sprinting, she's actually sprinting at 11.9 watts per kilo.
Ugh.
Wow.
That's impressive.
Yeah. Yeah. I'm curious on the GC stuff. Some of these, like on the Madeleine, et cetera, big climbs like that, what it is. We'll get you an answer, Nico.
I'm guessing it's around 5.5 watts is when they're on the long climbs.
Which is also filthy.
I think that would be my gut, but we can run those numbers. We just got that question now. So
Yeah.
I feel like in our first year, we were trying to figure out what animeques were, and it was higher than that. So I think we need to definitely dig into it.
We can geek out.
Yeah.
Well, we have more. We'll save some of these for tomorrow because we're running up on time. But I just got a note from the team back here, and so we'll just leave the audience with this. Well, actually, we're going to leave them with what we always leave them with. But
Yes.
Ty, just for you.
Oh, there's Scotty.
Now, let me tell you something,
He's got the hat.
Ty. There is no doubt in my mind that that's a squirrel. That is a squirrel. No part of me thought that was a beaver. So Ty, it's confirmed. You are a sicko. You're a sick individual. Cool. Well, thanks for tuning in. We'll be back tomorrow for stage 4. See if Lorena Wiebes can do it again.
And send in your questions.
And get some, and keep the questions coming.
Yeah.
Except for you, Ty. info@wedo.team. All right, we'll see you all tomorrow. And on 3, 2, 1.
Bye.